Hi, and welcome back to ECO152. So this is part 2 of chapter 6, and we are doing 6.6 to 6.9. That is the simple Keynesian model of a closed economy without government. To obtain aggregate spending, we have to add C plus I at each level of Y. This yields the aggregate spending. We also know that equilibrium is when aggregate spending, that is A, is equals to the total income. The following slide therefore shows how we derive aggregate spending. So aggregate spending is equals to C plus I, and we also know that C plus I is equivalent to C bar plus small letter c times Y plus I bar. What is missing? We have aggregate spending and income, but we do not have production. Production and income are the two sides of one coin. So at the 45-degree line, all points where income is equals to production and spending. So aggregate spending is equivalent to income, therefore it represents the equilibrium point. So this is the graph that represents the aggregate spending versus total production or income. So this is the 45-degree line, and any point at this line represents the equilibrium. That is, aggregate spending is equals to income, and any point above this line means that aggregate spending is greater than income, and any point that is below this line means that income is greater than aggregate spending. At equilibrium, aggregate spending is equivalent to income. It is important to review what happens when there's excess demand and when there's excess supply. So here we have excess demand, and here we have excess supply. So when there's excess demand, it means that aggregate spending is greater than income. And then when there's excess supply, income is greater than aggregate spending. So this is the exercise that you need to do. I'm not going to go through it. It's all for you guys to do it. So this is a numerical example of an equilibrium. Suppose that you have C, which is equivalent to 500 plus 0.8y, and your investment is equivalent to 300. What is the equilibrium level of income? And we know that at equilibrium, y is equals to A, which is equivalent to C plus I, and we have our C, which is 500 plus 0.8y, and then we plug in the number for investment. Then we add like terms, so 500 plus 200 is equivalent to 800. And then we try to solve for y. We know that it's y minus 0.8 equals to 800. Then, which is also like 1 minus 0.8, which is 0.2y. And then you divide to get your value of y, which is 4,000. The multiplier, moving from one equilibrium to another. So what happens in the model if the investment spending increases? So initially we were at this equilibrium level where our A1 was here, and then this was our aggregate income. So what happens if the investment increases to another level? So this is our new equilibrium point. So if investment spending increases, it means that the excess demand also increases and then excess supply decreases, because initially this was our excess demand and then this was our excess supply. So if we increase the investment spending to the next level, then the excess demand will increase, then excess supply will decrease. The multiplier, a numerical example. So we know that A is equals to Y, which is equals to C plus I, which is equals to C bar plus small letter c times Y plus I bar. So therefore we solve for Y, and then Y is equals to C bar plus CY plus I bar. And then we put like terms together, so we transpose the cy to the other side, and then we simplify, so we get 1 minus c into y is equals to c bar plus I, and then we get y equals to 1 over 1 minus c into c bar plus I bar. So this is the formula for the multiplier, where alpha is equals to 1 over 1 minus c. And then change in y is equivalent to the multiplier times change in a bar. So this is another exercise. Please do it, guys, for your own benefit. It's going to help you. If you do not understand, consult the textbook, consult your lecturer, consult your tutors, as well as your peers. This is another exercise, which I'm not also going to go through. Another exercise. Important change in equilibrium. Remember to read the questions carefully. Does it tell you by how the autonomous spending changes, or does it tell you the new level of autonomous spending? Does it ask you to calculate by how much equilibrium income changes, or what the new level of income will be after the change? So it is important, guys, to note these questions and make sure when you read the question, you understand what is asked for you to do, so that you are able to calculate whatever that you are asked to calculate. This is the additional exercise, which is on the workbook that is sold for 10 rands. You read through the examples and then attempt question 1 and question 2, which is on page 79 of your workbook. That's it for chapter 6. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your attention. I hope it helps.